Let's see. Okay, we're rolling. We're rolling, Laura. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is my client, Laura. How are y'all tonight?
Facebook.
Okay, so we're just gonna wait a couple minutes, see if we can get some viewers tuning in. We don't have any viewers quite yet. Whenever you guys tune in, make sure to give us a comment. Say that you're there. Say hi. Nobody there yet. Let's see what we need. Okay, I'll definitely get this. Oh, okay, so we got some viewers. Hello, everyone. We're going to show you how to curl your hair tonight. Okay, so here is my lovely model, Laura. Say hi again. Hi. Okay, so we blow dried her hair. Let me get a brush real quick and just brush this out. Okay, so much like whenever you blow dry your hair, we're going to take her hair into some sections. So I'm going to do the same sections that I've done before, where I take them from the temples to the crown, from behind the ears to the occipital bone. So we're going to go ahead and section her off. There's a couple different ways that you can curl hair. One of the popular ways to curl hair right now is with a flat iron. There's so many different types of curls too. There's curls that are kind of like old-timey curls, and a lot of those old-timey curls you kind of curl forward, like towards your face. Today we're going to be doing just basically basic curls that most people kind of like, just for if they're going out and they just kind of want them to look nice and soft and pretty. So I'm using my hot off the press for my thermal protection, and I just kind of go over. Make sure that it's not wet. You don't want to get too close. And I'm going to do my sections, cut it in half. And so I have 4 sections. So back here, I'm going to be using this curling iron. You can use so many different sizes, just depending on the type of curl that you want. Maybe I'll use this one. I think I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do bigger curls on Laura. And then if I want to change it as I'm looking at how it lays, I can always change it later. So this is the first thing that I want you to notice. Most people, they curl their hair, they start down here and then they curl up. You do not want to do that. That's going to burn the ends of your hair, and that's not going to give you heat up here where you want it. So you're going to start in the middle, and I'll let you see this once I get to the front. So you're going to start in the middle. You see right there? Now I twist it. Now as I go down, I just open this a little bit and slide down. There we go. Now where your hair is cooling down, that's where the curl is going to set. So you don't want to break that curl up yet if it's still hot. So see how I start up here? I open this a little bit and pull down. Okay? Now, some people, they want their curls and they don't want the bottom to look curled. So what you can do is, as you curl, you start up the top, you pull down, and then you see how I just leave this out right there? You don't have to curl that. You can just leave it out, and that kind of leaves that part straight. Same thing if you're using a flat iron. So here we go. We're going to use this flat iron, and you start here. Now the thing with the flat iron, you're going to twist it all the way around, and you don't want to use a section that's wider than your flat iron, just like whenever you're round brushing. The more tension you have, the tighter of a curl you're going to get, and when you get to those ends of the hair, you're just going to drop it out. And that's going to give you that kind of piecier look, more textured look at the bottom. And if you kind of over curled your bottom, all you got to do is just kind of go over and flat iron the ends, and that's going to give you more of that beachy wave look. So, oh, thanks for liking, whoever that was. Okay, so we're going to move on up to the next section. If anybody has any questions, if I'm going too fast or there's something that I've missed, just feel free to shoot those in the little comment box and I'll answer any questions you have. I think I'm going to switch this up. So I want Laura's hair to have maybe a little bit of a different variation to her curls. So I'm going to switch this up, use a smaller curling iron. Now, you'll notice that for these softer waves, what I'm doing is I'm curling all of them inwards. So I'm doing them away from her face. And right here in the middle, that's kind of where I stop. That's where they meet. Now, if you're wanting like more of a beachy wave, you're always going to want to curl away from your face. But the next one, after you curl away from your face, you're going to curl towards your face. And then whenever you brush that out, that's going to give you more of like a tousled beach wave look. And then you want to make sure too that you don't curl the ends of your hair. But if you do want it curly and not the beach wave look, then make sure you get the ends of your hair. That's one of the things with the wand. You're not getting the ends of your hair curled whenever you use a wand because your finger's there. So that's kind of why you get more of a beach wave look whenever you use the wand. So we're gonna. Now, something that I noticed again, hi Joe, how are you? When people are curling their hair is after they curl it, they don't like that it's super uniform and they have like these little ringlets. Make sure that you just pull that out, because if you don't pull it out, you see how this kind of is broken up a little bit? You don't want to see each section that you curled. If you do, then just leave it and let it set. Hi, Chris. We were just talking about you. There's Chris Mundy there.
Hey, Chris.
So if you want it to be like a looser, then before it cools down, make sure that you break up that curl. Okay, so now we're getting to the front, and we're taking it from the middle. If anybody's missed anything, oh, hi, pretty Chris says. If anybody's missed anything, I'm going to recap. When we're curling the hair, a lot of people start down at the bottom and then curl up. You're not getting even curl saturation. Your curls are not going to last, and you're frying the ends of your hair. So you want to start in the middle. That way each individual curl gets the even amount of heat, and you want to curl away from your face. Unless you're kind of going for like an old-timey like finger wave kind of look, then you want to usually curl away from your face. Let me think. Jessica Chaston, that's her name, right? The redhead? Yeah, she kind of does that. Oh, not in that picture. I got a magazine of her over there, but she kind of does like that old-timey, kind of like pushes it forward to the side. Curls, she's somebody who wears that really well. Oh, hi, Taylor. Taylor went home and now he's watching. So make sure that you always use heat protection. That's a really important thing, because if you ever notice that you get little white dots at the end of your hair, and it just feels really dry and it's kind of, you're having difficulty with your hair, those little white dots, that's heat damage. So if you're getting heat damage, that's something you don't want. Hi, Hannah. This vid Laura's post, but... Oh, hi! Oh, I see something else. Natasha, I found this video from... Oh, Laura, this is your friend Natasha from church. Okay. She's saying hi. Hi. We're getting comments in there. So, yeah, those little white dots in the end of your hair, like I was saying, that's heat damage. So you want to make sure that you... Oh, your curling iron too? Mine says 375. That's actually a little bit hot. 350 is normally where I set my curling iron. You don't need it any hotter than that. 450 is where your hair burns. So you don't want to have your hair, burning. That's where you're going to have heat damage, and you're just going to have a lot of trouble with your hair if you're not using heat protection, and if you are setting your hot iron above 350. So... Oh, your twin sister says hello.
She's taking notes too.
All right, so now we're moving on up to the top section. Anyone have any questions? Anything that you have trouble with when you're curling your hair that maybe I haven't gone over yet? Shoot those in. Make sure we're gonna...
Yeah, Natasha goes to church with us, and she was saying that she knows you from, we all have the same friend group, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. It's so hard to like read as I'm trying to multitask. Me and Laura were talking about multitasking does not exist. It's a myth.
Biggest lie.
So hard to do. So just like whenever you're round brushing, something that I talked about in my video last week, you don't ever want to take a section that's really bigger than the size of your curling iron because it's going to be too thick and you're not going to get even heat. So you'll notice this little section that I have here, it's not really wider than my curling iron, and this way, it's not like any wider than the width of my curling iron either. So really the sections is going to depend on the width of your curling iron. That's something that people are like, oh, let's just take bigger sections. Well, you're not really going to get your even curls if you're taking bigger sections. So you want to make sure you're taking sections that are the proper size for your curling iron so that you can have your curls actually last. One thing that I like to do is I curl my hair at the beginning of the week. That's the first thing that I do. Something that a lot of other people do is they curl their hair at the end of the week. They want some extra volume. Their hair's kind of falling flat. But I'll tell you, if you do flat iron your hair at the beginning of the week, your curls at the end of the week are not going to work. But it is kind of something, if you don't wash your hair every single day, then you can just kind of curling your hair makes it look a little bit fuller. Throw a little bit of dry shampoo in there and helps it go one extra day. Hi, Mom. Do you have any questions, Laura? Am I answering everything?
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a great job. My hair has never looked so good.
Okay, so you don't wash your hair every day.
No.
Do you use dry shampoo?
No. I haven't found one that I really like.
Okay.
But I haven't done anything fancy.
So we're going to talk about dry shampoos. So Laura's over here saying she hasn't found any dry shampoos that she really likes. Now, there is 3 different dry shampoos that I use. One of my favorites is Amika, which I have over here. It's called Perk Up by Amika. Now, I carry this whole Amika line, and it all has the exact same scent. It smells awesome.
It does.
Laura vouches.
It smells really good.
That's one of the things that I like about the line is that you're not layering on scent after scent after scent. It's all the same. The Amika dry shampoo, though, it doesn't help me go longer than maybe a day or 2. The next one that's a little bit stronger is Powder Bluff by Kerastase. It's kind of in the middle. It's kind of a middle of the road one. And then the strongest one is from Dry Bar. I don't know what it is. It's something from Dry Bar. It's like the Dry Bar dry shampoo. That one's really, really, really powdery. It's pretty much like straight baby powder. And honestly, if you have blonde hair like Laura does, you can almost get away with just putting baby powder in your hair. Just dumping your head upside down, throwing a little bit of baby powder on your roots, and making sure that you brush it in really well. Same thing with dry shampoo. You just want to make sure you brush it in really well. Now, if you have darker hair, that baby powder trick will probably make your hair look gray. So anything that's darker, like a shade lighter than my hair, you could maybe get away with, but anything that's my shade or darker, don't try the baby powder thing. But that's a really good, cheap, easy way, especially for those moms out there. You got some baby powder at the diaper changing table, your hair's a mess, just throw some in your roots. There you go. Pro mom tip.
See, you're already a pro.
Yeah. Taylor says she's getting her hair done in April. She can't wait. I can't wait either, Taylor. I'm excited. Okay, so we're just about done. So anybody have any more questions? I really only have like 2 more curls. Which way does your hair go? This way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I really only have like 2 more pieces to do. So send in your questions, anything that I haven't answered, and I can go ahead and answer those for you. Any burning questions? Hi, Mary Rose. So I'm going to go over everything just one more time while I'm finishing up. Main things that you want to focus on. making sure that you get even curl saturation. Your sections are not bigger than the width or the length of your curling iron. You are curling away from your face. Your curling iron is not hotter than 350 degrees, and you're using heat protectant. Let me think. Wherever it cools is wherever it sets. So you might want to pull it out if you don't want to have like super ringlet curls. If you want more of a beachy wave, even if you curled all of this and you want more of a beachy wave, really all you got to do is go in with a flat iron and flatten that out. And I don't know if you can tell, but that looks more like a beachier wave on that side. But I don't want that to be a beachy wave, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to kind of, before that cools, because where it cools, once the hair cools down, that's how it's set. So you want to make sure that when you're in that section, if it's cooled down, it's totally set. So you want to make sure if you don't like the way that that curl's looking, you go and you fix it right then whenever it's still hot. That's something that I notice a lot of women do. They're like, oh, I'll come back and fix that curl later. Nope, you're not going to have a chance to fix that later because once it cools down, it's set. And that's why you're fighting and fighting and fighting, because you're like, oh, why is this curl not working? It's already cooled down, it's set. So you want to make sure you get it while it's still hot. Okay, so let's get this brush. I like to brush them out. The curls, they're going to kind of jump back into place anyway, so I just like to brush them out. Now, I have this elixir I'm going to put on. It's just kind of a finishing polish. I'm just going to take one pump of that. Give it a little extra shine and dimension. Can you spritz your hair with water and then reset? Yes, you can. So if you have like set your curl and you're like, oh, why is this not working? All you gotta do is just really spritz it with water, and then it's good to go again. You just gotta spritz it, and you obviously have to dry it again. You don't want to, curl wet hair that's gonna fry your hair. So this is Laura's curl look.
Yay!
And, I think that so you can see that both sides right here, it's a nice waterfall backwards for her curls. None of the curls are kind of like going in and like touching her chin or like kind of like driving her crazy. That's something that I've noticed a lot of people have problems with their curls. So I don't see any. Oh, what are your tips for hard to curl hair? My daughter's hair is extremely straight, doesn't stay well. Okay, so tips for hard to curl hair. If you go last week to my video, you can see whenever you are setting your hair, whenever you're blow drying it, the blow dry is going to make a huge difference. Heat protectant, this hot off the press is one of my favorites. It's not just a heat protectant, it has hairspray hold to it, but it doesn't make your hair feel sticky. That's what I really, does your hair feel sticky at all?
No, it feels normal. It doesn't feel like hairspray's in it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it has any product in it. So it also gives you a little extra shine, so this hot off the press is awesome. Oh, Laura Harbin said, you have gorgeous hair.
Oh, thanks, Laura.
So as far as, getting straight hair to stay curly, really all of these tips, like if you're not going from the bottom, you're starting in the middle, you're getting even heat saturation everywhere. That's a huge tip, because a lot of people, it's like, oh, like your hair is straight and then it's like only curled at the bottom. Well, that's because you only curled the bottom pretty much, and then you got extra heat damage down there. So having even heat saturation all through the curl, using hot off the press, and then, a good hairspray. I can even touch your hair up. I've got this touchable hairspray, and I like that because I hate the feeling of hairspray in my hair, but I still want my hair to stay. So I have this touchable hairspray by Amika, and again, this is the Amika line, so it smells amazing. I'm going to spray it on Laura's hair, and I'm going to kind of be liberal with my spray, and then I'm going to let Laura feel it, and she'll be able to tell you if it feels too sticky or if it feels like she doesn't like it. Okay, go ahead and feel your hair. Kind of like, see, one thing I like to do to break up my curls too, Laura right now is kind of touching her hair from the top.
Oh.
I like to go underneath and pull my fingers through like that. That breaks up the curls real nice and pretty. Just kind of something I like to do. Does it feel like you have hairspray?
Maybe a little on the outside, but it's not like
It's
awkwardness.
touchable. Yeah, it's touchable, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell
good.
that there's a little bit more hold. So, yeah, I think that's really all my tips for getting your hair to stay. You can even okay, so here's a good one. So I showed you last week in my blow dry video whenever I did Anna's hair. So I did the curl, and I curled her hair with just my finger in the blow dry. So you can see how this curl just kind of wraps around my finger. Once you curl it, if her hair does not like to stay curly, you can just take a little duckbill clip, and after you curl it, set it in place. That's what we call a pin curl, and that way, whenever it cools down, it's cooling down in a curl, so that's gonna make sure that curl stays longer. So I think that's really all my tips for that. If I think of any later, I'll make sure to post those on Facebook. So, hi Courtney. So I think that's everything we've got.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being my model, and I hope you guys have a great week. I will be back hopefully next week with another how-to video. Stay tuned. Thanks.